welcome back to your Feel Good studio. There is a lot to take in this morning. We've had some amazing entertainment. Now we're going to look forward through a slightly different lens. And I love the fact that right now, all of us in the most authentic way are thinking about living more sustainably, about energy efficiency. But it's not just us, those that we rely on, those that are in our corner when we make these big investments, these big decisions, just like ABSA, they are moving with us and we are moving at a quantum rate forward. And we're going to be talking now about housing solutions, some innovations in that energy space, and I suppose speaking to a longer, greener, brighter future. And here to chat to us is the head of product at ABSA Home Loans to discuss advancing a more sustainable future in home ownership. And whether this is your first or maybe your second, your investment, this chat is for you. So we're chatting to Portia Letlape this morning, who must have one of the coolest jobs in the world right now. So Portia, first of all, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Graham. Thanks for having us.
Your smile says a lot. The second I look at your face, you're like, I'm ready, because we are ready. I think now we understand sustainability differently, energy efficiency very differently. And I say that because what you're talking about, again, I use this baseline shift term a lot, but it feels like this is a first step, not just a nice to have after we've done the investment. So maybe let's start with that notion before we make that investment, and it's a big decision. What needs to be going through our mind?
Absolutely. Thanks, Graham. So I think, let's talk about property ownership first, right? So if you are buying your first property, it is a huge investment.
I'm like, ooh.
Right? Most of us are scared. It's the first time we do it.
It's long term.
Exactly. 20 years worth of investment, and quite a significant investment as well, right? So from a preparation perspective, when you are buying a property, you do need to make sure that you prepare, right? You need to prepare, make sure that you actually can afford this property. I must say, if you think about it, if you are currently renting, you're not responsible for the levies.
For sure.
You're not responsible for the rates and taxes. Now, all of a sudden, these are now your
responsibilities.
Exactly. So there is a lot of preparation required. So we would say, from an ABSA perspective, make sure that you get pre-qualified first.
All right, because within that process, you've got to jump through those hoops.
Yeah.
And I love that. And it's not about making it as difficult as possible. It's about making it as secure for you in that trajectory as you move into this space. And you can manage it, but it does require some kind of black and white. You don't want to be operating in the gray areas when it comes to a house and having hidden expenses as you go in, because they will come just through life. We know that. It's a very competitive market.
It is.
People are under massive pressure financially. And I think how we spend our money matters a lot more to us now.
Yeah.
And it's based on what we want out of life. You've got some amazing incentives to help people take that first step. Talk to us about that first step and engaging with you guys and what's in it for us.
Absolutely. So if you think about, let's talk about first-time buyers as an example, right? So from an ABSA perspective, we do give our first-time buyers a discount from a bond registration perspective. A lot of first-time buyers are not usually prepared for this expense, right? So we make it a bit easier to afford those upfront costs from a bond registration and transfer cost perspective. And secondly, from a government perspective, there is government grant that is made available for those that earn between 3,501 and 22,000 rand. You can actually apply to get a grant of up to 169,000 rand.
Wow.
And that is actually used towards your, let's say, your bond registration costs, or you can put it towards your deposit towards your property.
I love that. And I love, this is like connecting the dots.
Right.
Because we've got such a drive to get people into houses, but then we need the financial structures to be able to support that in a way that doesn't leave us absolutely with the rug being pulled out from underneath our feet 10 years from now, which we have seen in the past. So I commend you on that. We've got to now start living more sustainably so we can thrive as people. It's a bottom line. And we don't want to just be sustainable as people, but that's the framework: energy and water. And I've got to say, as a media, we are very, very quick to throw negative connotations and fill that media vacuum. But this is a space where real magic can happen now. So why has this become so much more important for you guys and for homeowners? Why should they be looking at starting this journey with that equation kind of balancing out?
Thanks, Graham. And I think, at the heart of water and energy efficiency is our responsibility to make sure that we protect the climate, right? The planet that we live in. So if you think about it, there's that responsibility from a climate change perspective, our carbon emissions as households, as an example. And as a bank, we feel that we need to make sure that we equip homeowners in terms of being able to afford these kind of solutions,
Brilliant.
right?
Yeah.
But really, you know, there's a cost-saving benefit. If you think about it, let's talk energy solutions.
For
so
sure.
Let's talk load shedding. We know we haven't had load shedding for a while.
100 days, I think.
100 days. But now, outside of load shedding, there's a need for us to be able to afford electricity. We know electricity tariff rates have increased over time. One needs to find a way of reducing the cost. So if you put up solar panels on your roof, Mother Nature is giving us energy.
And we got the best sun in the world, apparently. From the experts that I've heard speak over the last few days, we got the sun.
Africa.
We got the land, we got the sun, we got the people. We are winning at the moment. Yeah.
Absolutely. So it's those two things, cost saving and making sure that you reduce your carbon footprint as a household.
I absolutely love that. I was going to ask you what we should be aware of when we think about the sustainable future and kind of injecting that energy efficiency, but you've ticked so many of those boxes. I'm going to say thank you for doing this at an operational level, not just as a great marketing pitch to get more clients, but because you see that long-term vision. Absolutely. And what we all need. So you can be commended for that. I've loved working alongside your organization through this journey, and energy does play a big part, but I think at the bottom line is it's about the people behind it. So thank you so much. Hopefully this has inspired you to look at your investment slightly differently, whether you're looking to reinvest in your home in a more energy and water efficient way, or take that brave first step as a homeowner. Make sure that you are prepared, make sure that you have a long-term view, and make sure that you have the right team, i.e. ABSA and their amazing home loan department in your corner from that first step.
Stories of creators, and we're inspired by them all. We invite you to write your story with us. Your story matters. ABSA.